Great to be back. And we are live in the Fantasy Lounge. Wow, that feels great to say. As always, Mikey Mac on the mic. And to the left, the commish, Randy Hanson. And Randy, it seems like only yesterday, David Johnson's running wild in Philly, and Andy Dalton's breaking his thumb, making a tackle after he threw an interception in the red zone.
Is that how we're really going to start? A brand new season coming to you live. Last time we shot, I believe, was what, January 17th?
Back in January.
No, December. It was December 17th. My fault. December 17th is the last time we had a video, and you're going to come out hot right out of the gate with an Andy Dalton's reference?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a new year, new me, new you. Let's get after it.
A new season. And, you know, with every new season brings new hope, new optimism. And I'm telling you right now, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great about, you know, where our league is at and the potential to have a great year personally on the fantasy league.
I'm glad you actually feel great about where our league's at. It is a great time. It's August 1st, officially 26 days away from not only the return of Matt Gallagher,
yeah, it's big,
but the return of this league. Also, we're having the league for the first time, and I believe the last couple of years, at a new location. I'm really interested to see how it plays out and how the draft really goes down. It's a lot of pressure on Mr. McCarthy for hosting this year. A lot of pressure.
New venue, but I will say this: I think McCarthy's ready for the challenge, and the least he could do for having such a terrible year is to host.
So put on a good event.
Put on a good event. I think he's going to come through for us. Now, there's a lot. I want to take a little bit of time to reflect on 2015 because it was such an interesting and crazy year, specifically in fantasy. So I was just interested, maybe what was your biggest takeaway, your biggest surprise about the 2015 solo touchdowns league?
From the league in general, I got to start out with Andy making it to the championship game after losing Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially your first overall draft pick was a bust, you would say. Yeah. And he still battled back. I didn't think his team was good all year. But he still battled back and put himself in the championship game. Didn't win, though, but he was there. Also, how about Gallagher not making the playoffs for yet another year? What is the drought at now?
3 years, I think. And you know what it was? I think he rested so much on his hometown morals. You know, I think he won back-to-back times in the hometown league, and he thought he was God's gift to fantasy football, and it's just not the case. All right, Gallagher, it's not hometown anymore. This is This is the sold-out touchdowns league. So you need to start, making moves out here because right now it is embarrassing. The fact that you haven't made the playoffs in 3 years.
Yeah, and you can't blame Ricardo for last year because he was mostly around to be doing this league.
He was, and Gallagher's the only person in our league to not make the playoffs in a 3-year span. So
that's an interesting little tidbit of news.
It's a good nugget.
I hope it just digs right into him.
That's the plan.
And then last, I hate this kid. Wasim rattles off 12 in a row to win the league. 12 games in a row, win streak. Does he come out? Does he make it 13 in a row going right into this league?
It'd be unprecedented. Are we in the midst of a Simo Dallas dynasty? I think 2 championships in the past 4 years. If he somehow wins back-to-back, official dynasty. Now, I'm not willing to crown the man yet, but I'm telling you right now, 2-4, two championships in 4 seasons. Very good.
Yeah, he's like the San Francisco Giants out here. Every odd year, Simo wins.
Yeah.
So let's hope it's not this year, of course.
I gotta give a shout out to my man Waldo. Losing, biggest surprise for me, losing Tony Romo, losing Jordan Nelson, losing Des Bryant, and this man still made it to the semifinals with an opportunity to get to the finals. The trade that he pulled off to get Cam Newton was arguably one of the most legendary trades of all time. I have to give a shout out to Waldo because he showed something that we didn't think he had. Ability to manage, ability to make, ability to do that type of thing, and very impressive. Also, give a shout out a little bit to Lewis in the sense of a little bit surprised. Back-to-back kind of so-so years. I know he had a good year last year, but this year was a little bit of a dud. And I'm looking to see Lewis bounce back this year. It was a little bit of a surprise to see how uncompetitive he was this year.
In Lewis' defense, I understand we were both working midnight shift during that time, but it really showed. It really showed in his game, like the lack of sleep and preparation. So I'm really hoping maybe he could change his hours if he wants to make that playoff push for this year.
I mean, I understand, the family business is important, but at the same time, so is fantasy.
Well, also, he's got a couple mouths to feed. He's got Steuben to feed. He's got a list to feed, you know what I mean? So you really got to feel for him.
Okay.
He's got to put food on the table.
Interesting. I'm sure they're gonna love that little reference there. Now, also the 2015 season, the NFL season, very interesting. Like, what was some of the things that you caught your eye in 2015?
The season itself?
In the NFL. Yes.
NFL? That's an interesting question. Cam Newton's just rise from perennial being one of the best players in the league. He took that natural step, I would say last year, to in years past, you saw him in the losing. Cam Newton's got the towel over his head down. Now he's out there dabbing on these fools and just really epitomizing himself as maybe the future face of the league, you could say.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say this ties into next year, to this coming season as well, is the amount of idiots that can't stay off weed. It's just hurting our team. You got Le'Veon Bell high up on your draft board, and of course, he doesn't even show up to the drug test. Doesn't even show up.
Skips out on the drug test, yeah.
And he says it's not a failure. Mike, in high school, if you had a math test that you didn't like, and you thought you're not going to pass, just because you didn't show up doesn't mean you're going to pass. It's still a failure.
I agree, and it's a shame because he's a big-time talent. Also, obviously with Martavis Bryant, and I know Josh Gordon's coming back.
Martavis Bryant, I had a huge breakout year. Even better for Antonio Brown.
And Josh Gordon's coming back. Hopefully that'll be a good story, but he's still suspended for the first 4 games. To me, I'm going to go quarterback position as well. It's the change of the guard, as I like to say. You got 4 young quarterbacks that have really just risen to the cream of the crop in the league. Russell Wilson was the 3rd fantasy quarterback last year. Blake Bortles was number 5. Kirk Cousins was number 10. Derek Carr was number 13. Kind of pushing out some of the old mainstays in Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan. And I really do think all 4 of them have the potential to be top 10 fantasy quarterbacks
this year.
This year.
All right, this play. I'm just going to rattle off right here. You name these 4 quarterbacks, right?
Sure.
All right. Who has the best year this year out of those 4? I know it's early. It's August 1st. We haven't even really dove into breaking down.
Yeah, right. But I think Russell Wilson, just because his ability with the legs, and also he's got a great arm. And I just think now with Marshawn being gone, like it's fully his team.
And he got his nut too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got out there. He's a dad now. Okay. So you got Russell Wilson, absolute top 5, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Then who are you breaking down next?
I like Bortles a lot. I think Derek Carr again is going to be great. If one guy, maybe Cousins, doesn't have as good as a year, maybe you got more tape on Cousins. You could maybe game plan a little bit for him. But I think all 4 of them are going to have strong years.
We got plenty of time before the season to really dive into these position players. This is just a format for now. Just say, hey, welcome back. The league's back. Football's back. Just to let you know, I'm sorry to cut you off there, buddy pal. But Sunday was the last Sunday without football until February. Yeah. So that just sink in.
So try to ease back into, wet your beaks a little bit, as I like to say. Now, a lot's happened in the offseason, and in order to, to fully, be informed, we need to maybe go over some big names that have changed places. So we're going to go a little same face, new place. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rattle off 10 names, and Randy has the opportunity to tell me who their new team is.
That's interesting.
Are you ready?
Good to me.
All right, first one, DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray, he is with the Tennessee Titans.
Okay. That is correct. Matt Forte.
Matt Forte's Jets.
Jared Cook.
I love this move. He's with the Packers.
A new tight end that Aaron Rodgers has to play with, I think is going to that's going to be explosive.
I think top 7 tight end in the league now.
Jared Cook was a top 10, and who was throwing him in St. Louis?
The ghost of Jared Goff.
Nick Foles. I love that pickup. All right, Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller, he is with the Texans. Love it.
Big time workhorse maybe for Bill O'Brien. We'll see. Chris Ivory.
He's setting a new attitude down in Jacksonville.
Yeah, beast mode. Along with pair with T.J. Yeldon, and also maybe Denard Robinson. I don't know if Denard Robinson. There's some potential down there. Huh? Brock Osweiler.
Texans again.
Do you think he's a potential play in fantasy?
I think he's a fucking bum.
Okay.
Sorry.
There you go. A little Kobe Fleener, the Fleens, another tight end.
Like it. Went to the Saints. Where's Ben Watson at?
I don't know. I got to look into Ben. He's old, but at the same time, Ben Watson was great last year.
Yeah, great. Blake loved him. Played the shit out of him.
Blake loved him some Ben Watson, and especially after I traded him Breeze and Cooks. He had the whole Saints team there.
Travis Claus, I'm out there.
Could be a little sneaky play here. Travis Benjamin, the speedster from Cleveland.
Like this move a lot to be paired with Philip Rivers, and he's just a great guy on the slot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he complements Keenan Allen very well as well, and to go along with Gates, there's opportunities there for Travis Benjamin, definitely. Arian the Barbarian Foster.
He's still hurt right now. He's on the injured reserve.
But I heard he's healthy.
He can come out at any time, until his groin pops or his hamstring again. He's got a lot of soft tissue injuries, which, they reoccur and they step up throughout the league, throughout his career, is soft tissue injuries. That's what I'm saying. Never had anything extremely major. It's always a hamstring, a calf, a groin.
It's always something with Arian. But when he's healthy, probably maybe one of the best.
But he's on the Dolphins.
Dolphins, yes. And then finally, Marvin Jones, the red zone target for your boy Andy Dalton.
That's a good question. Marvin Jones he's on the Lions, right?
That is correct. Nice one, Randy. And let's do one more here. A little bonus for the viewers here. How about Ladarius Green?
Ladarius Green, he's on Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Big Ben's got his new Heath Miller.
Yeah.
I love me some Ladarius Green.
You see Big Ben at it's called training camp wearing Heath Miller's jersey. A little RIP respect. He's still alive, though.
Okay. Well,
retire in peace. That's what's up.
This man right here has done his research. 11 for 11.
Didn't even know him. Off the cusp.
That's the highest percentage you scored on a test in your whole life. So,
career. It's my Jordan game.
Okay, let's take out of those 11 names. Give me 2 or 3 that you think are must-haves on your roster.
Must-haves? Gotta be Lamar.
Or give me some guys that you want on you.
Lamar Miller.
Okay.
The dude average. This would blow my mind because he would always find his way on my fantasy team. You'd only average like 14 touches a game.
Yeah.
It's abysmal, and I feel like Brian's just gonna run the show, honestly.
So here's a little nug some nugs for for the faithful listeners out here. Miami last year, dead last in rushing attempts per game. Dead last. You're looking at going.
Why? It makes absolutely no sense.
I have no idea. You're looking at Lamar Miller going to the Texans, who last year 5th most rushing attempts per game. Bill Bryan likes to run the rock, and he did it with Alfred Blue and Chris Polk. I don't know, but there was a lot of people touching the rock last year, and they weren't that good. And so you plug in a guy like Lamar Miller at 4.5 yards a clip last year, you're looking at potentially the rushing title champion this year.
And Lamar Miller's got that big play speed. You know what I mean? Yes. Not only is he, I think he's good between the tackles, but he's got big play potential. Get him in the flat, get him out open in space, and just let the guy touch the ball. That's my only downfall. I just don't understand Lamar Miller. He's got all the potential in the world, just never got a chance.
Okay. Yeah, I'm high on Lamar Miller. Anybody else you want to touch on?
I think Jared Cook, like I said before, top 7 tight end. Mm-hmm. All right. He's always had the talent to be on the cusp, but especially I don't think Aaron Rodgers had a good tight end since who? Michael Franklin?
I was going to say Bubba Franks, but that was a foul. No, I agree. And Aaron Rodgers, he's going to spread the ball around. I mean, you get Jordy back. You need someone that's going to go over the middle, and Jared Cook's going to do that. And he's just
cut up the seam.
Yeah, exactly. He's an athletic guy. He's going to be able to utilize Jared Cook in the offense. I agree. I like Kobe Fleener a lot, but I'm going to throw out a little sleeper. I'm going to go Marvin Jones. Now, I know Detroit just signed Anquan Boldin. But Marvin Jones is a red zone target. And who did you lose last year? Or who did you lose from last year? Calvin Johnson, who's a red zone target. Now, in 2013, Marvin Jones caught 10 touchdown passes from Andy Dalton. Last year, he caught 4, but he's been hurt. I think a fully healthy Marvin Jones. Matthew Stafford last year, 9th best fantasy quarterback in terms of points. So Matthew Stafford's not dead yet. All right, the dude still's got an arm. They're going to be playing from behind a lot because they're not that good of a team. Golden Tate's going to get his touches. Marvin Jones is going to get his touches. Eric Ebron's going to get his touches. And granted, Marvin Jones is going to get the end zone.
Can I give you a little something? Who is the Lions' offensive coordinator?
Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter. Love it. Did you know since Jim Bob Cooter took off as offensive coordinator, I believe it was in week 8 or 9 for the Lions, that Matthew Stafford was a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football? Now, just throwing that out there.
So again, I like Marvin Jones, and I know, especially getting new life in Cincinnati. I mean, going from Cincinnati to Detroit, I think that's going to be a nice little pickup for them. All right, now that wraps up Same Face, New Place. I hope we gave you guys some interesting information in terms of people that have changed teams, so that way you're not looking like Lath at the draft night where you think someone's on a different team.
Hunting for stickers. He's a sticker hunter.
Yeah.
You always know that. He's always and then he looks it's on the board or something, or he'll just spill his beer all over all the stickers and then leave because he's like, oh, it's only the 13th round. Why do I need to stay?
Exactly. Okay. Now, the next segment we're talking about is called Odd Man Out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list 3 names, pretty comparable players at the same position, and what Randy is going to do, and what I myself is going to do, is we're going to tell you which one we do not want on our fantasy team. All right, the Odd Man Out. So the first one, you had DeMarco Murray, Latavius Murray, and Carlos Hyde. Which one do you want to stay away from out of those 3, or which 2 do you really like?
I like Hyde. I did like Hyde for the first 2 games of the season last year, and then it was like an SOS. We were looking for him. Don't even know where the guy went. But I feel like with new Chip Kelly offense, they're going to be running the ball a ton, and kind of comes from the same spread offense that they ran at Ohio State. I think that's going to be really crucial, like getting them open in space, especially a lot of read options stuff like that, and they're going to all run the ball a ton. Question now is, can DeMarco get back to form?
Yeah, I don't know. Remains to be seen. I do not like DeMarco Murray at all. Tennessee last year, 28th in rushing attempts. Part of that is the not being able to move the ball. Mariota was young. He's still learning the position. You can't pick up first downs. It's hard for you to continuously run the ball. But, Mariota ran the ball 34 times last year. You take away that, they're probably dead last in rushing attempts. I don't think DeMarco Murray gets the ball that much. I don't think their offense is that good. And also, is he going to be a third down back as well? Is he going to be first, second, third down back? I'm not sure. So I just don't really like DeMarco Murray at all.
Who's Latavius Murray's backup? Didn't they just sign someone?
Yeah, I have to look. I think they do have someone that's a decent backup. I'm not sure.
If Latavius Murray gets to work, Cole, if he gets to work, then he's always been productive.
Well, yeah, the thing with Latavius, though, he's fumble issues. And so, a productive backup to Latavius could provide. I know they had, Tywan Jones last year. But,
I don't want Latavius Murray.
I don't want DeMarco Murray, so you guys could have him. All right, the next one. This is going to be a little PPR running backs here. We got Deion Lewis, Danny Woodhead, and Gio Bernard. Who do you not want on your team? Who's the odd man?
I want me some. I would say maybe Gio.
Okay.
Deion Lewis was one of the top 5 running backs in the league PPR prior to ACL injury. If he comes back to full form, I think he's crucial in the passing game.
Yeah.
When Brady comes back as well.
Of course.
Danny Woodhead led all. He was like a wide receiver last year. He was PPR legend.
90 catches.
90 catches. I need me some Danny Woodhead. And Giovanni Bernard, I might have to say no.
Okay, so you kind of stole my thunder a little bit. Gio Bernard, I do not want on my team. Definitely not. Here's the thing. Danny Woodhead had 30 more receptions than Gio Bernard. It's not even close. Also, the whole thing with Jeremy Hill, obviously Cincinnati likes Jeremy Hill, and they like Gio Bernard. I hate that kind of thing. For sure Danny Woodhead's catching at least 5 balls a game. I can't say that about Gio Bernard. Granted, Danny Woodhead's a little long in the tooth. Let's be honest here. He's been in the league for a while. Maybe he starts breaking down. I love me some Deion Lewis. If healthy, Deion Lewis is going to be an absolute animal. And so to me, yeah, Gio Bernard could hit the road for me. All right. Now, last one at the running back position. Some old mainstays that are still in the NFL here. They can still have the opportunity to be productive. One's coming back from a serious weight issue. All right. So we got Matt Forte, LaShawn McCoy, and Eddie Lacy. Who's the odd man out?
Interesting. I think I'm going to have to maybe sit out Matt Forte.
Too old?
Is this where he had a great year last year too? Is this the year he finally breaks down? He's always been a guy that played 14, 15 games in his career. Is this the year he finally comes off the table and breaks down a little bit?
Yeah.
McCoy's gonna get the work hold, and Eddie Lacy's looking good in camp.
Looks young. He looks spry.
And he's not old. He's only been in the league 2 years.
2-3 years. Yeah.
So is he gonna get back to form? And then I think he's on a better offense. Is Fitzpatrick, they got a hard schedule. Is he going to actually continue his success from last year?
So Matt Forte didn't rush for over 1,000 yards last year. I don't know how they're going to use him. He is 31, I believe. Bilal Powell had a great year last year, and they also got Kyrie Robinson there as well. I don't know. I just don't know. The question mark is a little bit Matt Forte. You don't know how they're going to use him. You don't know, what his capacity is. I know how they're going to use McCoy, and I know how they're going to use Eddie Lacy. I think how they're going to use Eddie Lacy if he starts to perform the way he can. So I think this might be the year where Matt Forte has a serious decline in his production. All right. Now let's go to the wide receiver position. We got Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, and T.Y. Hilton. Who's the odd man out?
I'm going to have to go with T.Y. Hilton.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of T.Y. Hilton. He's not a boom or bust for me. And a little tidbit of stats is he's only scored in 3 out of the last 24 games.
He's not getting in the end zone.
He doesn't get in the end zone.
Okay.
Does that change this year? Does he finally have a breakout TD season?
Here's the thing. I like Andrew Luck this year. I think he has a big year, so I like T.Y. Hilton. At the same time, Amari Cooper didn't even lead his team in targets last year. That was Michael Crabtree. Granted, I know Amari Cooper it was a rookie and he's still learning, but there was times when I was watching Amari Cooper and it just didn't look like he was running routes.
No flash in the pan?
It just didn't look like the level of interest was there. And so that kind of scares me. I know what I'm getting from Brandon Cooks, even though he kind of screwed me in the beginning of the year. So maybe I shy away from Amari Cooper, but I do agree T.Y. Hilton is boom or bust, but I think he has a better year this year. All right. Demaryius Thomas, Calvin Benjamin, Jeremy Maclin. Who's the odd man out?
Demaryius Thomas.
Okay.
No, I'm saying out loud. Demaryius Thomas, Calvin Benjamin.
And Jeremy
Maclin. Jeremy Maclin. Macklin's always steady. Pure talent. Demaryius Thomas is off the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe he's got a better quarterback than he did last year, Mark Sanchez.
Okay.
And the fact that he can actually throw a football.
Okay.
Because Calvin Benjamin's the question mark.
Yeah, he is. But I mean, he's going to be fully healthy, and
but we're yet to be seen on the field yet. So at this time, I would Calvin Benjamin out.
But he's shown what he can do. Now, Demaryius Thomas concerned me last year. 177 targets last year, only 105 receptions. That is not a good completion rate towards Demaryius Thomas.
He also had 105 receptions.
No, I'm not saying that, but I mean, think about. Granted, part of that's a testament to the people throwing him the ball. I get that. Now, is Sanchez better than Brock Osweiler? Maybe. I don't know. Demaryius kind of concerns me because he didn't get in the end zone last year either. And so, granted, the reception is nice, but what is he going to do for us? All right. We're going to do a little rookie wide receiver. We're going to go Kevin White, Sterling Shepard, and then Laquan Treadwell. Who's the odd man out?
Maybe I'd have to go Treadwell, because I just don't believe in the quarterback in Minnesota.
All right, see, I think that's unfair. All right, Teddy Bridgewater, he completes passes. He's accurate. He wins games. I like Laquan Treadwell.
He is a fantasy option, I think.
Yeah, I think Sterling Shepard to me is the odd man out, just because there's a lot of options in New York. I know Victor Cruz is coming back. They like Will Tye there, obviously ODB. I don't know. I know Eli likes to spread the ball, but I don't know how much he's going. I mean, I don't know how much bread he can butter. You know what I'm saying? And finally, this is going to be even crazy to even fathom this, that I'm putting this man in the same conversation with these two other tight ends. But Zach Miller, Eric Ebron, or Jimmy Graham. Like, how far has he fallen? Jimmy Graham? Who's that?
I think Jimmy Graham has a great bounce back season. No, he's with them the entire season.
Patella injury and knee injury is not good for a big guy like that.
They'll get him the rock. Eric Ebron's out.
Hey, let's not just. Hey, he's a top 12 fantasy tight end.
I'm not a fan of Eric.
Losing Calvin Johnson, I don't mind Eric Ebron. My thing is with Jimmy Graham, he averaged 4 receptions when healthy last year a game. 4. You could get that in anybody. You go pick up Will Tye, and he's gonna get you 4. Like average 4 a game. I just don't know if he's in the plans for Russell Wilson. The dude doesn't block really.
You don't give a first-round draft pick up for something that you don't see.
Yeah, well,
you're not going to get.
They didn't use him pretty well. And my thing is too with the rapport of Russell Wilson. I don't even know if it's there. So to me, he's the odd man. I like Zach Miller a lot this year. I think Cutler has a big year. All right. This is a little odd man out. Hopefully we gave you some ideas to think about. Now,
hang on a second. I'm not going to let you just skip that little by and then change the subject. So, you think Cutler has a good year, a breakout year this year?
Not a breakout. I think he has a good year.
Good year. Define a good year?
I'm gonna say close to 30 touchdown passes.
How many interceptions?
Under 15 or less. He's gonna go. I bet he could go 30 and 15 this year.
30 and 15?
I like that. Yeah. That's a good year for Cutler. Yeah.
Put on the board.
Yeah.
What do you want to bet on that?
I don't know. The schedule is pretty soft, so I'm feeling confident in that actually.
30 and 15? Mark it down.
He's got the tools. All right. So we got the noodle going a little bit, and the next segment is gonna be a little interesting. You got me thinking, or you must be drinking. I'm gonna read off a statement, and then Randy's gonna tell me if I'm a little drunk when I wrote down that statement, or it's actually a reasonable idea.
Okay.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, so you got me thinking, or I must have been drinking. So, both Rob Gronkowski and Martellus Bennett will have 10 or more touchdowns this year.
So what do you got Brady throwing this year? That's 20 right there.
It's 20.
So how many touchdowns have you got Brady throwing? 40?
No. Probably like 32, 33.
You must be drinking.
Okay. Well, don't forget. There's 4 games when Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. So you got Jimmy Garoppolo throwing at least 2 to each.
Not really. I'm making a statement, so I don't know if you think that's a good idea.
It's awful.
Well, how come?
It's awful. First off, let's go with MB for that. All right.
Okay.
The dude, I don't think he's had more than 5 receiving touchdowns. In his
6
career.
is his most.
6 is most in his career. So you have him go above and beyond. Gronk can get there.
Well,
Gronk's gonna get there. If you say we said 10 for each, if you went combined 20 touchdowns, maybe I'd dive into that a little more. But when you say 10 each, that's moving the ball a lot, and we don't even know how they're really going to use Martellus Bennett.
That's true. Bill Belichick is weird. He might just have him blocked the whole time.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. I was definitely drinking when I wrote that statement because again, Martellus Bennett has never been in the end zone more than 6 times. Granted, he is relatively healthy sometimes for most of his years. He's more a receptions guy. He's going to move the change, and then Gronk and Edelman are going to get in the end zone, and also a wide array of other people. He just spreads the ball too much. I don't think Martellus gets 10, but I do think he's productive.
Yeah.
Right. Now, DeAndre Hopkins will have over 100 receptions. Last year, I believe it was 111.
You're right.
Okay.
What's the thing you got me thinking?
You got me thinking?
Yeah, me thinking. Absolutely. Last year, who led the league in routes run was DeAndre Hopkins. Okay. The dude is a force. Deserves to get paid. I don't know what the Texans are doing. Deserves his money. But you see top 5 talent right off the bat. And he did it. He had great games against all top cornersbacks in the league.
Yeah. He just
no one stopped him.
All right. Here's the thing.
Who else can throw the ball then?
Yeah, Fuller from Notre Dame. All right, anyway, here's my thing. I think he had over 190 targets, so the dude gets targeted a ton. He's a big play guy. I get that. Brock Osweiler, who was under helm last year, completed under 6% of his passes. You want to know who had a higher completion percentage than Brock Osweiler?
Give it to me. You're gonna give it to me anyways.
Brandon Weeden, Josh McCown, Mark Sanchez, Sam Bradford. These are guys that are not good, but they're completing more passes than Brock Osweiler. The dude is inaccurate, and also, is he going to be able to move the chains, right? And to the point to where I get it. Who's throwing it? I mean, Brian Hoyer had a better completion percentage than Brock Osweiler last year. And so again, is Brock Osweiler? It's not an indictment on Hopkins, but is Osweiler going to be able to get the ball? Keep in mind, ODB didn't even have Odell Beckham Jr. didn't even have over 100 receptions last year. So I mean, it's hard to do, and I just don't see it. I don't see it happening this year for him in terms of receptions. Right now, Blake Bortles, my man Blake Bortles here. Blake Bortles, man, that guy fling the rock, is a top 3 fantasy quarterback this year.
What was that like? What impression was that?
It's supposed to be, I don't know. It's supposed to be John Gruden. I don't think
Young John Gruden. Yeah. Okay, Blake Bortles top 3 quarterback? Absolutely not. All right, I love me some Blake Bortles. Guy single-handedly won me a fantasy football league. Me and Ryan got a nice little payday. It was great.
Yeah.
but he was down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He led the league in touchdown passes thrown while losing by more than 14.
So garbage time.
Garbage time.
Okay.
Just run it up. He's like the epitome of a fantasy football quarterback. They'll give you 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Doesn't matter. And throw it for like 400 yards. But here's the thing. New defense. They brought in Jackson, the defensive tackle, paid the man. They're not going to... I think they're going to be more...
They drafted corner
Florida State. And then the guy from Florida, their linebacker, came back this year that ruptured his Achilles. The main thing is, you got Chris Ivory, you're going to give the ball a little more too. Yeah. All right, these are going to be more closer games. Okay. All right? So he's not going to be top. Is he top 10? Absolutely, I believe. Yeah. Top 3? Now you're pushing.
This dude just keeps getting better though, and you can see the progression. My thing is, Jacksonville averaged 23 points a game last year. That was 14th in the NFL. I could see them being a 27 to 28 point per game offense, and that's going to boost them into a top 5 offense. And that's just only going to help Bortles. I mean, him and Allen Robinson are amazing. Him and Allen Hurns are amazing. You got Julius Thomas going in the middle. You got Yeldon who can catch the ball in the backfield. He's got a ton of weapons, and he keeps getting better. From last year, his completion percentage was 5 points higher than his previous year. And so the dude's completing passes. He's understanding the game. I think it's very possible. He was the 5th best fantasy quarterback this year. So I kind of like that statement. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, in the news recently for possibly catching a domestic.
I believe he was falsely
accused. I don't know. But anyway, will be a top 3 fantasy running back this year.
Top 3?
Got me thinking, or must be drinking? Top 3.
Got me thinking, man. And I don't even like him, honestly.
I don't like him either.
But he's got big playability. McFadden rushed for 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
They got a great O-line. As long as Tony Romo was healthy, and does he get the workload? Does he get the workload? Possibly can.
That's the big thing, Tony Romo. Here's the thing. In 2014, when they had DeMarco Murray, they were so successful. They were 3rd in the league in rushing attempts. This year, they didn't run the ball as much because they're not in the field because they couldn't do anything because Dez was out and Tony was out. If they're top 5 in rushing attempts again, possibly, and Elliott gets the ball in the backfield. I just don't like him, so I'm just going to say that's a false statement. So. Now, finally, staying on the running back theme here, Adrian Peterson is no longer a top 5 fantasy running back.
You got to be drinking. Okay. AP's like that once in a lifetime athlete that until you can't go against him until you prove you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like until he has that bad season, you can't bet for that bad season.
Okay. Keep in mind, I'm thinking a little bit on this one. All right, 327 attempts last year, 50 more than Doug Martin. He averaged 4.5 yards a clip, which is really good. My thing is he's 31. Does Minnesota start to split up his workload a little bit, give him some more rest? And granted, last year he had a lot to prove from being suspended. He basically had fresh legs. I just don't know if his carries go to a reasonable amount. I mean, over 300 nowadays is moving. If it's just like 270, he's not winning the rushing title this year. And so, do I think guys like Devontae Freeman and Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott are going to be great? They could be, and they could possibly move him out of the top 5. So, just don't write that off yet. Whew. Yeah, I'm feeling good right now.
It's good to be back. You know what I mean? It's good to be back.
It does, man. It feels great to be back on the lounge.
Kane's being okay.
Kane's being great. It's been a really good show, I think, so far. And it's time to segment into everybody's favorite part of the show. It's a little pop-off drop-off.
Ooh.
I'm gonna a little pop-off drop-off. Yep.
Really?
I'm gonna give you guys some nuggets to chew on here. I know for usually pop-off drop-off I give for the week. This is for the whole season, so I'm gonna start at the quarterback position. Right. My pop-off. I'm going to go Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston last year, 14th best fantasy quarterback as a rookie. Okay, not to sneeze at. 11th in passing yards, so that's good. Now, the man completed 58% of his passes last year. Now, in general, second-year quarterbacks are going to be better. I'm looking for that completion percentage to rise at least 2 to 3 points, as it did with Derek Carr, as it did with Blake Bortles, as it did with a lot of quarterbacks that are in the league. They're better their second year. So he's going to complete more passes. 28 total touchdowns last year, 22 through the air, 6 through the ground. I think that number jumps to 35, and all of a sudden now you're looking at Jameis Winston as a top 10 fantasy quarterback, maybe a top 8. I think Jameis Winston pops off this year. Also, their schedule's not that good. Now, this is going to be a pretty big, bold drop-off right here. I'm going to go Cam Newton drop-off. 45 total touchdowns last year. The dude was unreal. Single-handedly carried Waldo to the semifinals in our fantasy league, no doubt about it. The dude was just an animal. 45 total touchdowns last year. That drops to 35. Here's a little nugget of information. He plays 5 teams this year that were top 7 in passing defense last year. Now, going into 2015, only 1 team on his schedule was in a top 5 passing defense, and that was the Seattle Seahawks. So his schedule is going to get tougher, and I think he struggles. His completion percentage has never been great. I think that's going to hinder him, and he drops down from 45 to 35 touchdowns, making him maybe the 6th or 7th best fantasy quarterback this year. So that's my drop off for.
Are you taking out his rushing?
No, I mean, combine that in there. He's going to have 35 total touchdowns.
Yeah. Did you also count he plays the weakest division?
He's got a tough schedule. So, like I said, you must not have been listening. He plays 5 teams that were top 7.
Yeah, he also plays the NFC South.
Okay, no, I understand that.
Atlanta defense horrendous. Saints defense, oh my god.
Okay.
Tampa Bay defense, gross.
Okay, yeah, you're not listening. Last year, he played one defense that was top 5 in passing defense, and that was the Seattle Seahawks.
Well,
he plays 5 this year.
That's 6 games right there where he just got cupcakes.
That's fine. And keep in mind they lost to Atlanta last year. He had a good game, but
lost 1 game.
All right. So I'm saying, all right.
I know. I gotta get you.
I'm defending my point here. Now, that's my pop-up job at the quarterback position going into the 2016 season. Now, it's been about 6 months and we haven't had a commissioner's corner, so everybody is on the edge of their seat expecting greatness right here.
Expecting greatness.
Take it away from commissioner's corner.
Commissioner's corner this week, it's going to be pretty dull. I'm going to be honest with you. We all know who should be in commissioner's corner, wearing a permanent fucking dunce hat and just sitting, literally just don't even look at anyone. Don't even look. Just you look to the corner for, the duration of time? Then him who should be left nameless. We sent them out to Bears camp today. Hope he's having a great time. He's selling candy bars, trying to get back in the league. But what I really want to talk about is the draft. It's the greatest time of the year. Like I said, it's August 26th. 26 days from today. 7:30, Friday night. Gallagher's in town. New fucking place. McCarthy's throwing a banger. Got it. He went out for the league and redid his backyard just for the league. I think just for the draft. He told me he was ready for it. There's gonna be TVs on deck. The booze is flowing. Channel's going to be getting everyone's beers. Don't think we forgot. All right?
Channel is the teats.
He is the teats. All right? The main thing I want to touch on is everyone got your letter congratulating you to the 10th year of the SOTD League. It's a big year, 10 years. 10 years. I'm surprised we're all still kind of friends. Some people have not lasted the test of time. But main thing is get your baby weight in. All right? That's the thing I want to knock out this week. All right. This is how it's done. For some people that don't understand, a.k.a. Mike Trotter, they ask me, Gallagher calls me because he can't understand simple instructions. Lath doesn't understand. He's a mathematician. It's just like The Price is Right. Okay? So let's say you think the baby is going to be 12 pounds, and you guess 12 pounds, 1 ounce, and the baby comes out 12 pounds. You're the first loser because you went over. Don't go over. All right? So it's going to go everyone that's under, then you'd be the first loser on top of that. Does that make sense to you?
No, I mean, I understand. My thing is, it shouldn't go by if you go over. It should go by the distance.
No, that's what it is.
That's neither here nor there. We've had already an argument.
Put in your attention.
Okay.
I said, do you understand or not?
All right, I get it. Yeah.
Right, it's pretty simple.
It's flawed.
Yes or no. It's a yes or no question.
Okay, yeah, I understand, but it's flawed.
Yeah. It's like a lot of things in your life. So get the baby weight in. Hopefully the baby is born before. If not, the commissioner's always got something up his sleeve, people. Don't be second guessing me. Don't be thinking I don't got plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and so on. But prepare yourselves. We got a new award coming out this year. We got the ring ceremony for Wasim, that dirty bastard. We got trophy presentation, and there's one more award we're giving out this year. But besides that, that's all. Prepare ourselves. We got 26 days to crunch some numbers. Trout has been working on some things. He hasn't left his room for days.
Just really
just crunching
tying
numbers.
up camp and really excluding all kinds of distractions. So I'm really got some good stuff.
McCarthy just buys a fantasy magazine so he can just read something.
Okay, so is that wrapping it up? Or
that's pretty much it, man.
Okay.
That's just we almost left this out.
Okay.
Silly us, right? Okay. Live broadcast, the Fantasy Lounge on site of the draft. Draft starts at 7:30. We got live broadcasting starting at 5:30. We are ready. We're bringing it to you live. Break down each people and break down our players of the league. Get them all on there.
Specifically, be ready to be interviewed for some, have some interviews to get on the lounge and really kind of, talk about maybe some strategy, some nuggets of information, some players you like. Give us some good information. Be ready to bring.
Live on the red carpet this year too. I love it. So be prepared for it.
And also, don't be afraid to check out the Twitter account. So touchdown.
Twitter account's plopping. I just fired it up again. It's live updates constantly. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, we're back, baby. And so we want to thank you for coming to 33rd Emerald and talking with us today. And remember, it's never too late to come relax in the lounge. Take care.